What is going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Flyin Brian's Garage. So, in today's video, we're going to drop off something. Shaggy Small Engines. Y'all be sure to check him out on YouTube and Facebook. Shaggy's Small Engines on YouTube and Shaggy's Repairs on Facebook. We're taking him his pulley swapped and transaxle swapped race mower. It does need a carburetor, but he will be getting one of those soon, and we will be picking up a couple of projects. One we'll be working on in this video, so y'all stay tuned and let's get out there and see what we got to drag back to the shop. Alright, new mower, Craftsman, '19 horse Briggs, very drive. No steering. Let's back the van up over here and grab it. We made it back to the shop. We got this thing out here on the trailer. It is unstrapped, and we're about to drag it into the shop and further assess this thing. Alright, after an exhausting drag and push, because I had to drag it and push it and drag it and push it, but it is in here. It is a Craftsman T1600. I have never owned one of these. This is definitely a cross between a Craftsman and an MTD style, like Troy built the newer Murrays. A couple other ones I have out back. There's the Yard Machines, Yard Man. I think I have the Yard Machines or Yard Man. I don't know what the hell it is. It's something Yard. But they're all the same transaxle setup. So you got the F&R, you got two belts, and they consider that a very drive belting system. So he did throw in a few more parts with it. He threw in an extra seat, he threw in an extra wheel, which I guess he just didn't need use for. It has a good tire on it. It is a 4-lug 8-inch wheel like the rears. I realized that the front is just missing a steering rod, actually. So honestly, I think I have that in scrap. If not, I know I have it out back on another mower. So yeah, I guess it's a good thing we parted out the Troy built, because we might be needing some parts from that joker. And it is in the back with no transaxle, but it still has the engine, still has the hood, still has the dash, but the dash is here. Yeah, it's all here. It just got taken apart. So I'm thinking we just slap it all back together and see if we don't have us a running unit. That's a big possibility. Seat is moved all the way forward. Got an old Titan battery on here. I do not know how old that is, but it's probably pretty old. Let's see if we can move our seat back. Yeah. There we go. Did it lock into place? No. But there it did. Alright, it's got a pretty decent seat on it. The body looks to be in decent shape. No dents, dings, scratches, or anything of that sort. The only thing that did have was this back was pulled out back here from, you know, people pulling on it, but I pushed that back in, and actually, other than that, it's pretty straight mower. Looks like it has the stock wheels and tires on it still. I'm more than sure that's the stock engine, stock fuel tank. This is a complete stock unit. It does have a vari-drive, or actually F and R and a pedal. What the fuck's going on here? Oh, it's a hydrostat. It is not an FNR. It's a combination between the two. Well, okay. Old watch here. Take that off the steering wheel. You damn sure ain't gonna need that. Old digital Timex. Been out in the weather forever. It's trash. Okay. Well, I guess we can get started with tearing into the engine and seeing if we can't get it to run. All the wiring looks to still be there, so I'm thinking, let's see, I gotta pull that shit out. Let's see, how did they get the dash off? Because if this steering wheel's okay, it is removable. I don't know. Let me let's see if I can't get this fastened down real quick, and then we'll go from there. I'm trying to get this thing running. I'm thinking either this thing's missing panels, or that hood does not go to this machine. But I do see holes here, so I'm wondering. I think there was panels there, so I'm missing something. That is what it is. We got everything kind of hooked up. Dash is up there. The choke throttle works, and this thing ain't got no belts on it, really. Can't. That sounds like no belts. They're off. There's a belt there. There might be a belt for the trans. Okay. Well, probably going to leave it set up for a deck, just in case. I feel like that might be a good idea, but I think if I don't sell this, I'll probably just use it for like dragging the driveway or something. Hell, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna start pulling a battery out and getting terminals clean so I can get ready to put a battery in it. Alright, we got our battery out. Those belts are trashed. They clearly have issues, and I bet that clutch also has issues. I would not be surprised. Alright. Get the camera, guys. Ding dang dadgummit. Now we can pull, actually, let's do that once, twice, and now we can pull our air filter out. Okay, that don't look too bad in there, actually. The air filter may still have some life in it. Alright, filter looks pretty good. Let's tear this shit off here. I know that's on here for a reason, but I mean, look at it. We're not running that. Come on, off. Off, I say. Okay. Yeah, that filter looks pretty decent. It's not bad. We could blow that out with the air compressor and reuse it. I probably have a foam filter cover somewhere in my shit. But don't fall on the ground. That was a decent save. Looks like some mice tried to chew at it. Gave up. Which I'm glad they gave up, because I don't really want to buy a filter. But there we go. Let's get the crap out of this box here. Yeah, it's not bad. It'll do. Put our filter in our box down there on our floorboard. And now it looks like we're ready to see if it runs. So, like I said, let's set y'all up on the other camera. We'll come back here, pull our battery, get those terminals cleaned up, and then throw our own hot battery in it to see if the key works. And then if it does, well, actually, before we see if the key works, I'd like to spray some oil in that cylinder. So, let's get a battery in it. Alright, we got nice clean terminals. Got a fresh new battery, because this is my new battery. There we go. Got the cap on it and everything, even the battery strap. Fancy. So, let's go ahead and get y'all set up front here. We'll probably move it back just a little more so we have a little more room, and we'll go ahead and pull our plug and put some oil up in there. Let it sit for a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and go try to turn it over. See if it turns over with the key. Alright. Found a gas cap. So as you see, it's not the best, but damn it if it ain't the worst. So, we'll clean this plug up while we're at it, and then get some oil in our cylinder. I think it's in pretty good shape. So, as long as we don't have a seized up starter, we should be able to turn over the engine here in a minute. Or if we don't have any issues with the electrical system, and that is turning it over with the key. So, let's lube the cylinder, clean the spark plug, put it all back together, and see if we can't turn it over. You have a universal key here. Let's see if she turns over. It indeed turns over. I bet it will start too. About to find out. Needed a decent amount of fuel. Let's see what she does. It does run, but it don't sound very good. Sounds like it may have a knock. That's a definite knock. Well, it does run, but it sounds like it's knocking. I know I just got a pair of pliers. What did I do with it? Damn it. There they are. Okay. Let's disconnect this fuel line. Make sure she's flowing. We'll let all this water no flow. No flow. And it's got shit in it. It's definitely plugged. Let's see where it's plugged at. Well, we've already pulled the tank out, cleaned it out. It was a mixture of old gas, water, and some bullshit. We do have a plug in the line. It's probably collapsed because of how old it is. I went ahead and pulled the line off of the Troy-Bilt back there that we parted out a while ago, and I got a better gas cap because the gas cap I did have was fully open. That one actually has a closed off vent. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get our line on, get our tank back in, and fill it up with gas and see if the carburetor works on this thing. I'm kind of doubting it, but we'll see. Got a different tank, different lines. Took this tank out of the Troy built back there because the other one actually was plugged at the bottom and I didn't afford to try to get it unclogged. I'll do that later if I need it for something else. We're going to put some fuel in this thing. Seen leaks? Not yet. I'm also going to drop a little bit of ATF in the fuel. Just to help lube up those cylinders a bit, or the cylinder. There's only one. Okay, let's give it the bottle. And we'll get up here, see if we can't fire it up, and see if it'll run. I'm going to say our carburetor is probably trashed. We'll try to bottle feed it a few times. Trying to bottle feed it and then choke it once it fires up. Looks like we're going to be needing to do some carburetor work on this thing. I don't think it's going to run without doing some carburetor work. I was hoping it would. Got fuel on the line. Alright, we have officially smoked the shop out. Looks like Cheech and Chong hotbox this damn thing. Carburetor needs work. That's already evident. So we're going to put this back on there for the night so nothing crawls up in there. We got our fuel line shut off just in case, and we're going to unhook our battery as well so it doesn't start a fire here in the shop. And then we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Come back out here and get at it again tomorrow. We'll pull the carburetor, hopefully get it right and get it running. I think it's knocking, but I'm not sure. It could be something under it that I need to assess. I know I need to fix the front end and a couple other things, so we'll get to that tomorrow. So we'll see you guys. For me it'll be all night, and for you guys it'll be a few seconds. Alright, it is the next day on this thing. Good news is fuel does not leak. It is at the same level it was last night when we went inside. So that is awesome. Still got the same amount of oil, so we're not dumping any fuel into the oil. That is awesome. The carburetor doesn't seem to want to do carburetor things. So I'm guessing what we're going to have to do is pull this off and assess it. I will say, I'm sure y'all can hear it in the video. So last night when we were turning this thing over, I couldn't hear it as much. But when I went in there to edit, oh, I heard it on camera. So the camera picks it up better than my ears do. But this thing is knocking. Pretty bad too. I can hear it knocking as it turns over. And I could also hear it knocking when it, not as much when it runs, but I can definitely hear it knocking when it's shutting off. And I don't see anything that it could be hitting to make that knocking noise. I think it has, I think the rod's knocking inside of the engine. But I'm not completely 100% sure. I've heard sounds that sound like knocking on motors and they end up being something else entirely. So with that being said, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and pull this carburetor, get the top cover off, get the carburetor off, see about getting it cleaned, see if that does anything to help it run. Then once we get it running, I'll assess from there if it's a good engine or is it just junk. I'm hoping we can at least get it running and ride it around the yard, even if it does have a knock. But we're not going to know if we can do that until we clean this carburetor and see if it will cooperate somehow, some way. So let's pull it and go through a carburetor real quick, like y'all haven't seen me do it before. But yeah, let's go through an old Nicky. Alright, so that carburetor that has been cleaned is completely garbage, and I'm not surprised. but I think it will allow this thing to run. It's just definitely going to sit there and kind of overflow a little bit. Let me see if we can fire it up.
Just as I thought. It actually sounds pretty good now that it's running. Good deal. Let it run for a few minutes. Smoke out the shop. Yeah, we'll let that run for a few minutes and then we'll shut it off. Smoking seemed to clear up. Hear the knocking. Let's see if the key shuts it off. It does. Woo! Shit! Little bit of gas explosion there. Gonna pop? No. That carburetor's overflowing like a son of a bitch. Did it just fix itself? You're shitting me. I knew better than that. You hear that sizzling? Yeah, that's that gas dripping down into that hot cylinder. That carburetor's junk. But it will more than likely allow us to ride it. So I think what I'm gonna do, we're gonna lift this thing up and see if we can't get this front end situated. We got a spindle hanging off over here and we need a steering arm. We do need some front tires and wheels and need a hood. I am not going to use this Craftsman hood because of the fact that it does not reach the freaking dash. I think I have an idea of what we're going to use. So let's go ahead and I guess get a hood on it so we can get the front end lifted up, get all that assessed, and get some aired up tires on it, and maybe we could ride this thing around the yard tonight. Alright, we have a hood. I'm sure y'all recognize this hood. This is off of the old Troy built out back that I've parted out, but it fits better, as you see. So that's actually a pretty good fitting hood. I'm pretty happy with that. So the only thing is about this mower is I noticed that the steering is just jacked. I honestly think that's the reason it was parked. I don't think it was due to the engine. I think it was due to that gear down there that is just gone. We really need to replace that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to harvest the whole steering apparatus out of the Troy built in the back. We're going to put it in this and hope that solves the problem, because it's not oh yeah, that gear is just, it's eat up. So let's get in there and replace that with something that works just a little better than what we got. Alright, we got our old tires and wheels off. I've already got one side replaced. I did wire wheel that spindle while I was at it. I went ahead and also cleaned this side too. We are about to go back and retrieve the Troy built so we can bring it up here and give it a lift in the rear and get all the steering components out that we need, which will be the steering rod, the gear, the rod that goes there, and the locking mechanism that locks the spindle onto the axle. And then we should have a steering system. So let's go get that Troy built, get it up here, and harvest some parts. Alright, we have our parts shit box on the snatch tractor. So let's get it around front shop and get this thing up on the lift. Get some parts out from under it. Alright, we got this thing up on the lift. We put the T1600 hood on this just to have something to cover the engine for now, since we're using the Troy built hood on the T1600. So what we're after is these parts right here. The gear, steering arm, and all of the steering. So let's get to harvesting some parts. Alright, we've got all our parts here. Everything has been stripped off of this mower out here, all the steering components except for the front end. And then we're about to come in here. Unfortunately, we got to pull the dash off again, so we'll get ready to do that. We'll pull the dash off again, and then we'll go ahead and start removing our steering and installing our new steering. Alright, we got this thing tore apart. Last thing that has to come out is our steering rod, and there it is, the old one. Bushing was wore out on the end. I've already replaced the steering in here, steering gear, the steering arm, it's all connected up. All we got to do is put our steering rod in with our new bushing, new rod, get all that together, get the dash back together. Then we get the steering wheel on, get the wheel on it, and then we should have a fully functional steering system for this front end. Alright, we have replaced the steering. This rod is just a little bit longer, but it don't matter. We got a whole different hood, got the lights hooked up in the spot. We do not have the top of the engine hooked back up yet, nor the carburetor tubing and shit. Still want to test this out first. I'm not sure it's going to move. I would like to think it will, but I just don't know. Everything is not looking very promising. But we can try it. I guess let's jump up here. Let's cut the gas on just a little bit. She's flooded. Maybe this is a job for tomorrow. Ah, shit. I mean, I did get it put together though. Steering does work. It's not the best, but it works. Just like I said, it is not the best. I'm not sure what we'll do with this one. Whether we'll keep it or I do not know. I guess what I may do is come back out here again tomorrow and get at it. get it cranked up, and then we'll see if it'll move. Hopefully it will. If it doesn't and it starts giving me issues, we'll see if we can find a belt for it, see if we can't get it moving. But I don't really have a huge desire to do anything with this unless it gets like pulley swapped and a whole different clutch setup down there, because I hate these FNRs unless they're on a single belt system pulley swapped, then they're pretty decent. Otherwise they're just kind of junky. So yeah, but with all that being said, we'll see you guys back out here again tomorrow, where we will try to get this thing moving under its own power, since we've already got it running on its own fuel supply and got the steering hooked up. All we need to do is air up the back tires. We'll put a hot battery in it tomorrow and see if we can't get her to do what we want it to do. Alright, we're back out here. It is the next day, and we want to get this thing rolling today. So, we took our battery inside last night and charged it up. We're going to go ahead and reinstall that today. See if we can't get this thing fired up and at least take it for a ride around the yard. I do have plans for this one, so yeah, we may end up putting the original hood back on it, because like I said, I do have some plans for this unit. So let's go ahead and get a battery and see what we can do with this thing today. Alright, we went ahead and installed our battery, charged that up last night. Let's see if we can get this thing to leak a little bit of fuel, enough to fire this thing up. Damn. Are we going to be able to get it running today enough to ride it? Starter got stuck. Did again. Okay, let me see if I can get that starter a little less sticky. Just throw a little ATF on it. That son of a bitch is trying to run backwards. Y'all see that? That's insane. That battery is already almost dead. This one's gonna fight me tooth and nail. I already see it. I don't know why it has to, but it has to. Let's put some jumpers on it off of our jump box here. See if that gives it a little extra juice. Let's get it past the compression stroke so it has a better chance of spinning over. There we go. Alright, give me a second. I think something's wrong with the on-off switch on my box there. Okay. Did we lose spark? I don't understand. This thing just wants to be a nightmare. Hey, look at this shit. I think this engine's trashed. But I want to get it running. At least to be able to ride around the yard once. But who's to say the drivetrain even works? This one definitely is not in the best shape, guys. We've had better ones here at the shop. This is not one of them. I mean, I can still hear it knocking. Really makes me wonder about this unit. I guess let's grab a spark tester. Let's see if she still has spark, at least. Because it makes me wonder. Like, she ran the other day. I heard it run just a minute ago, and now it don't want to run. I'm sure it has something to do with the carburetor. Okay. Let's see if we have a spark. We do have spark. But do we have strong enough spark? Maybe that's one of our issues, is we don't have strong enough spark. Maybe our compression's down. Maybe we should check that real quick. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and check our compression. We'll pull the hood off, put the compression tester on it, spin it over, see what it's reading us. I will get another hot battery, put that one on charge. Then what we'll do is we'll come through here after we take our compression tester off. We'll come through here, take our coil off, clean everything, clean the flywheel, all of our points of contact, put everything back together, gap it properly, put a new plug in it, and see if that may help it fire off. Alright, we went inside and swapped out battery with another one. It looks the same, but it is different. We have our jump box on charge. That way we can use it when we need it. I guess what we're going to go ahead and do real quick is go ahead and get our compression tester out, pull our plug, and see about testing for compression and see what that tells us. Alright, now this is something I have to say real quick, just because I need to say it. I got some dumbass on Instagram who thinks they're God's gift to the automotive world, and has told me and informed me that I should not have used ATF in my fuel because it does not lubricate, nor does it clean, because it does not have detergents in it. God, some people are stupid. Like, I learned from old heads. I was the type of kid that didn't hang out with the kids in the neighborhood. I hung out with their dads in the garages. My across the street neighbor was a body man and paint and body guy. He worked on cars in his garage on the side. He also worked at PPG, which was like a mile down the road. Then my dad, he worked on RVs. Got the street worked on RVs. There was another guy up the road that was restoring an old car. Guy down the road, he traded shit. He had a yard full of stuff, mini buses, go-karts, four-wheelers, golf carts, all kinds of shit. And I learned from them. And this is the way you do it. Yes, you can put two-stroke oil in it, but when you're not sure of something, you don't know how much carbon's in there and everything. ATF, it does well. He wanted to argue me and say that's only in diesel engines. No, it's not. You can also put ATF in your crankcase to let those detergents help clean everything out. But you know, the more you know. He probably should have looked it up online before starting to comment and sounding like a dumbass and proving himself stupid. But people do that all the time by opening their mouth and not knowing the facts. So if anyone was questioning my putting some ATF in the fuel, that is what it does. It helps clean out the carbon buildup on top of the piston. It helps clean out the carbon buildup on the top of, or the inside of the head, the valves. It will blow it right out the exhaust. That's probably what y'all saw smoking at first, was, you know, all that detergent's cleaning all that up. Because if you notice, it don't really smoke that much anymore. Maybe on initial fire up, but yes, ATF can be used in your fuel, in your crankcase. You just want to make sure you're not putting too much in there, because you don't want it to mess with your burnability of your fuel. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our compression test. Alright, so we pulled our spark plug, and the first thing we see is it is exceptionally wet. So that means we're getting too much fuel. That might be why it don't want to run. And I figured it had to do with that carburetor, but it don't hurt to check this. Let's go ahead and start threading it in. It may be hard to do at this angle. There we go. Okay. There is our compression tester hooked up. So now that we got a battery strong enough to turn it over, should be strong enough. Let's see what our compression tester tells us. So about 110, 115. That is not bad. It is not the best, I don't think, for this engine. I think it should be about 120. But that is not bad compression. So let's see about it again. We'll put y'all down here. I'll turn the engine over. Yeah, about 115. That's pretty good. So now that we know that, let's pop our tester out, and then what we'll start doing is working on our spark system. We'll get our coil cleaned up, get our flywheel cleaned up. We'll get a brand new plug in here, and that's not wet. Let's do this real quick while we have it disconnected. Let's see if there's any gas chutes out. Nothing. So it is dry in there, which is good. Let's go ahead and get some tools. Pop this shit apart, clean it, and then we'll pop a new plug in it and see if that helps. Alright, we have pulled, cleaned, regapped the coil, cleaned our flywheel, new plug, old one's right here. We will see what this does. Does it help, or does it make it worse?
I knew that was going to happen. Okay, it's definitely an issue. Something wrong with it. Well, it does run. It does ride. That engine's a piece of shit, but maybe it wouldn't be with a new carburetor. Maybe I should go ahead and hit up Hyper Parts and see if they'll throw us a carburetor to put on this thing. But she runs and she rides, so we got that going for us. Alright, so we put the original hood back on it. Just because. And I think what we're going to do now is go ahead and reassemble the engine, and then we'll go ahead and air up the back tires, give this thing a decent wipe down, and then we'll be done with this thing for now, at least until I get a carburetor. So one of my Instagram followers, and I'm pretty sure he's subscribed to the YouTube channel too, talk to him through Instagram constantly, gave me an idea, and I think it's a pretty damn good one. He said that I should build a NASCAR themed race mower. I kind of like that idea. So what I think I'm going to do with this, now he did say I should build my own, because at first I said number 3 Intimidator because number 3 Intimidator, I mean, come on now. But he said I should build my own, and that's the only thing that I think that I don't agree with about that idea. I think I'd rather build a number 3 Intimidator. So I think we're going to have a number 3 Intimidator coming soon. And I think it's going to be this unit because the hood looks just perfect for that. It's got that mean, aggressive front look. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm either going to find or make pieces that equal this hood out for the dash. Then what we'll do is, of course, sand it, paint it, get all the number 3 stuff on it, and I'd also like to try to save this engine and just use it, at least for now, until I get a twin for it. But I'm gonna see if I can't get a carburetor through Hypa. If y'all ain't checked out their stuff, check them out, hypastore.com. They have good stuff, decent prices. So I'm going to see if I can't get a carburetor from them, and see if we can't get this thing a little further ahead. So I think what I'm going to do is this video, we'll call it, and then maybe we'll do a video of getting it running right, or maybe I'll just combine that with the number 3 Intimidator build. So we also have another one in the works. Sorry about the train noise in the background, but we were going to part out this one, but I've decided not to. we're going to turn it into the Smokey and the Bandit Buford T. Justice Sheriff Mower. Because we've got the Sheriff Mower hiding under there, the Hazard County Sheriff Mower for the General, but we don't have the Sheriff Mower for the Bandit. So we need to get that going. That's another build that's in the works. And we also have a mud mower that we're working on. I don't know if y'all caught a glimpse of it in the video here since we've been filming, but this is going to be a Beast 2.0. I'm working on it while I'm working on this. I actually started this one like 2 nights before I went to go pick this one up. So I just figured I'd go ahead and do a quick will it run, get this thing running and riding, and see what we were working with. I probably will do a FNR on this one, of course. We'll just, well, technically that's a hydrostat. I don't know. Is that a hydrostat? I don't really think it is. It may be, but I don't think it is. I think that's a gear drive. I think this is a very drive hydrostatic, but it's not a hydrostatic rear end. I'm pretty sure that's the gear drive FNR. And if that is, I can pulley swap that and we can use it in this. What I'll do is I'll just do away with the 2-belt setup and then just do a straight belt setup with a clutch like I did on the Shaggy's mower. If y'all haven't seen that video, I'll throw it in the description at the end of the video where y'all can click on it and watch it. We did a complete custom pulley belt system, complete custom clutch, and custom front and rear pulleys. So if y'all want to check out what I'm talking about, y'all be sure to go check out that video. But enough of me talking, let's go ahead and start reassembling our engine and getting this thing ready to put in the back and be done with it. So I thought I had cut the camera on, but I didn't. But all of our shit down here is done. I'm actually noticed that if you move the hood forward, it actually kind of sits up there. So we'll just do that for now. Let's see if we can't ride it again. Cut our fuel on a little bit. Fired right up. The pulley system's acting up though. Kind of working. Sometimes I hate these damn battery drives. think the clutch needs work. Spies are still running. Probably shouldn't say that. The more I use it, the more it's working. Seems to be doing pretty good. Well, she runs, she rides. Let's make sure we cut that fuel off. Looks like there's a little bit of fuel in the oil, but not too much. I guess let's put the air filter back on this guy. And we're pretty much done with this thing. Wish I had a pressure washer, but I don't anymore. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and take it to the back and call it done. Alright. Let's see if it'll fire back up. I guess I strain some fuel, take a battery out real quick, because I'm going to be done with this one for a while. Alright, we got all our fuel drained, and we just let it run out, so now we shouldn't have any in the system. No gas. Now we can remove our battery. Alright, sorry about the train noise once again, but there she is. We'll see her again soon in an upcoming video. Alright folks, we hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed reviving that thing, even though it seems to have some issues. Like I said, I am going to see if Hypo will send us a carburetor for it so we can get it tuned up, running right, and turn it into what we want to turn it into, which is a pulley swapped FNR straight drive instead of the 2 belts, and Intimidator race mower. So y'all be sure to go down there and smash that like button, comment down below, also subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Hit that all notification bell, that way you're notified every time we put out a new video, which is at least once a week. Sometimes we put out a couple of short videos during the week too, so y'all be sure to stay tuned for them. Also, if you want to kind of keep up with the shop, y'all be sure to follow Facebook and Instagram, where I post shop updates almost every day. And also come join us on Facebook at Flyin Garage Mud and Race Mowers. Share your builds, share your ideas. It don't matter if it's a car, go-kart, mini bike. I know it says mud and race mowers, but come on guys, let's be real. If it has an engine, steering wheel, wheels, tires, I'm interested. Post it up. So y'all be sure to come join us there. And yeah, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back to this mud mower. I shouldn't say race mower. I'm going to get back to this mud mower build, and I hope hopefully y'all will be seeing that here soon also. Also, we're going to be, like I said, building a Buford T Justice Sheriff mower, so y'all be sure to stay tuned for that one. That one's going to be a good one. We're going to run out of room around here before it's all said and done, but oh well. But yeah, y'all be sure to smash that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're in the Flyin Garage mood, you can go to the channel, click on playlists. There's a bunch of stuff there for you to watch. Also, if y'all want to see me in a different setting, I do adventuring, abandoned places and stuff like that. So y'all be sure to go check out Adventuring with Brian if you're in that kind of content. Description and link is in the description, as I should say. And links also in the description for our gaming channel, Flyin Brian's Gaming Vault. We have not yet to start that one up yet, but if y'all want to show some love, y'all be sure to go subscribe, and we will have some content coming out there hopefully soon. So, I do believe that's it. Oh, and before I forget, shout out to Jeff in Virginia, all your buddies. Appreciate you watching. Shout out to Michael and Braddock. Shout out to everybody else that watches, everybody that shoots me ideas, comments, interacts with the channel or the Facebook or the Instagram. We surely appreciate you. So we'll see you guys on the next episode.